Hi students, welcome to today's session. In our today's session we are going to see about setting up parameter for arc welding, selection and storage of electrodes. Let's move into our first topic. Let's see about setting up parameter for arc welding machine. Objectives of this topic is: at the end of this topic you shall be able to select and set the electrode and current according to the plate thickness. Let's see about electrode size and amps used. The following will serve as a basic guide of the amp range that can be used for different size electrodes. Note that these ratings can be different between various electrode manufacturers for the same size rod. Also, the type coating on the electrode could affect the amperage range. When possible, check the manufacturer's info of the electrode you will be using for their recommended amperage settings. Let's see about arc welding electrodes. An electrode is a metallic wire of standard size and length, generally coated with flux, may be bare or without flux coating also, used to complete the welding circuit and provide filler material to the joint by an arc, maintained between its tip and the work. Let's move into our next topic: selection and storage of electrodes. Let's see about selection and storage of electrode. At the end of this topic you shall be able to select a suitable electrode to weld a particular job. State the necessity of baking a coated electrode. Store and handle the electrode properly for better weld quality. Selection or choice of electrodes. Selection of an electrode is very important in order to get a joint welded with the required strength. Let's see the factors considered in selection of electrodes. The first one is properties of base metal. Top quality weld should be as strong as the base metal. Select an electrode that is recommended as per the properties of the base metal. The size of the electrode depends on thickness of metal to be welded, edge preparation of joints, root run, intermediate or covering run, welding position, welder's skill. Never use a larger diameter electrode than the thickness of base metal. The next selection factor is joint design and fit up. Deep penetration electrodes are selected for insufficiently beveled joints. Select medium penetration electrodes for open and sufficiently beveled joints. Next, let's see electrode selection based on welding position. Electrodes are manufactured for different positions to produce better welds. Select an electrode as per the welding position. Selection of electrodes based on welding current. Electrodes are available for use with AC or DC welding machine, straight or reverse polarity, and for both AC and DC welding machine. Select as per the availability of the welding machine. Let's see about production efficiency in electrode selection. The deposition rate of electrode is important in production work. So select an iron powder electrode for production work. Faster the weld, lower the cost. Select the electrode, which is designed for the particular production work. Usage and storage of electrodes. Electrodes are costly, therefore, use and consume every bit of them. Do not discard stub ends more than 40 to 50 mm length. Electrode coating can pick up moisture if exposed to atmosphere. Store and keep the electrodes airtight in a dry place. Heat the moisture affected or prone electrodes in an electrode drying oven at 110 to 150 degrees Celsius for 1 hour before using. Let's see how the moisture-affected electrode will be. A moisture-affected electrode has rusty stub end, has white powder appearance in coating, produces porous weld. Always pick up the right electrode that will provide good arc stability, smooth weld bead, fast deposition, minimum spatters, maximum weld strength, easy slag removal. Let's see about storage of electrodes. The efficiency of an electrode is affected if the covering becomes damp. Keep electrodes in unopened packets in a dry store. Place packages on a duckboard or pallet, not directly on the floor. Store so that air can circulate around and through the stack. Do not allow packages to be in contact with walls or other wet surfaces. The temperature of the store should be about 5 degrees Celsius higher than the outside shade temperature to prevent condensation of moisture. Free air circulation in the store is as important as heating. Avoid wide fluctuations in the store temperature. Where electrodes cannot be stored in ideal conditions, place a moisture-absorbent material, example silica gel, inside each storage container. Drying electrodes. Water in electrode covering is a potential source of hydrogen in the deposited metal, and thus may cause porosity in the weld, cracking in the weld. Let's see about indications of electrodes affected by moisture. White layer on covering, swelling of covering during welding, disintegration of covering during welding, excessive spatter, excessive rusting of the core wire. Electrodes affected by moisture may be dried before use, by putting them in a controlled drying oven for approximately 1 hour, at a temperature around 110 to 150 degrees Celsius. This should not be done without reference to the conditions laid down by the manufacturer. It is important that hydrogen-controlled electrodes are stored in dry, heated conditions at all times. Let's try question session for this topic. Which is the minimum length to discard the stub ends of electrode? Option A, more than 40 to 50 mm. Option B, less than 40 to 50 mm. Option C, more than 60 to 70 mm. Option D, equal to 80 to 90 mm. Your time starts now. I think you are right. The correct answer is option B, less than 40 to 50 mm. That's the end of week 21 session, and I hope you gained a plenty of knowledge from this session. Thank you. For queries, visit www.nimelearningonline.in/Moodle.